welcome, and thank you everyone for joining us today for our online seminar titled Trifecta, the Enigma of Mohd Nasir. My name is Adli, and I will be your moderator for today. Now, before we begin, I would just like to share a little reminder for all of our viewers on Facebook Live and IG Live right now. Anytime along the seminar, if you do have any questions for our guests, please do not hesitate to leave your questions in the Facebook chat box or Instagram live chat at any time of the talk, and your questions will be relayed back to our team in the Google Meet session. There is a slight delay between the Google Meet session and the Facebook Live and IG Live session. So everyone is advised to send in their questions early so that we'll be able to collect them and share with the Google Meet team. And for all the participants in this Google Meet session, I would like to remind you to put on your headphones and make sure that all microphones are turned off when not in use. This is to ensure that our webinar session today runs smoothly and without any hiccups. Now, before we begin, me and the whole DSISC team would like to express our condolences for the recent passing of Dato Nasir's late father. With that, we would like to invite Mr. Ahmed to read a dua for the smooth sailing of our event and the Surah Al-Fatiha for Allah Yarham Haji Muhammad bin Sam, so that his soul will receive blessings from Allah and so that he is placed among the pious. The floor is yours, Mr. Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم لك الحمد ولك الشكر على كل ما قدرت وقضيت. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وسلم. اللهم ارحم حج محمد بن سام. اللهم يسر أمره وابدله دارا خيرا من داره. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وعافينا واعف عنا وتقبلنا يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا بها جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا يا رب العالمين يا الله. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما قد جعلته سهلا. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث، إن يمسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا جامع الناس في يوم لا ريب فيه اجمع بيني وبين ضالتي. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما قد جعلته سهلا. أنت إن شئت جعلت الصعب سهلا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. بسم الله الفتاح. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما قد جعلته سهلا. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وسلم. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alameen. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for the wonderful dua, and may Allah bless our pursuit of knowledge today. Now, before we continue on to our main event, I would like to invite our Assistant Vice Chancellor of the College of Creative Arts, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Zaini Abdullah, to give a warm welcoming speech for all the participants and especially our guest, Dato Nasir.
Thank you, Adli. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. First and all, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all participants and students of the 4th Graduate Seminar of Design for Social Innovation and Sustainable Community, acronym as DSISC number 4. This is the 4 series, I suppose, organized by Team Forward. We are indeed very happy that this seminar is able to continue despite being completely conducting it on online platform with, of course, the social distancing norm due to our COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored today as we have a very special invited speaker, Yang Bahagia Dato Dr. Mohd Nasir. On behalf of the college and the current faculty, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dato Nasir for his support to this program and share his knowledge and experiences with the student. At the same time, we offer our condolences for Yang Bahagia Dato and family over their recent loss. However, we really appreciate your support, and again, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dato Nasir has been active in the art industry for more than 4 decades. Most of us know him as a singer, songwriter, actor, film director, but little do we know that Dato has attended the Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts and graduated with a diploma in Western painting in 1978. He originally wanted to be an artist, and today he turned out to be a complete one, a complete artist, Dato, in all sense of the word artist. Now, the College of Creative Art is founded recently, all right, based on a combination of 3 existing faculty over the years: the Faculty of Art and Design, the Faculty of Music, and the Faculty of Film, Theatre, and Animation. And indeed, Dato Nasir, you are a manifestation, I believe, of this new structure that we have formulated. Although this college is young, yet it has a long history and a long experience over the years based on this faculty that have been existed for the last over 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, DSISC is indeed a very important event because it demonstrates the ability of the student not just organizing the event, but at the same time also engaging in conducting research. These capabilities benefit social innovation and ensuring sustainable community. The seminar plays a very important role in unveiling the development of future designers, researchers in their preparation for the creative art industry. Indeed, students here have conducted all seminars based on online, and this suits the current situation, and it is to a certain extent a blessing in disguise. A lot of things can be done actually. The students really take the challenges and push themselves to make this seminar a success. I believe this remote learning and seminar will eventually be the norm that is to be embraced in the very near future. For that, I would like to take this opportunity again to express my gratitude to the organizing committee for their full commitment and their hard work in making this seminar a success. I hope this experience will benefit them in many ways. And of course, finally, I hope this seminar session would be a fruitful discussion for everyone. And I would just like to say something that came up from the script, Dato, and the rest. Yeah? Though I'm new in this discipline of art, design, music, and creative industry, but I am an ardent supporter of not only Dato Nasir, but also a lot of the artwork produced in Malaysia. And I believe the potential is enormous, and we should harness, and eventually we become one of the greatest, not only the art college of the region, but also make Malaysia one of the hub for the art creative industry, inshallah. So with that, again, thank you, Dato. Thank you all for inviting me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Salam.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Zaini, for that wonderful speech. We are very, very honored that you were able to actually join us today for this monumental event, I would say. So I call this a monumental event only for the fact that we are graced by the presence of a monumental figure. The creative industry, his fans, and people of all walks of life call him by the moniker Sifu, a word that means teacher or spiritual father. It is amusing to note, however, that he was never officially in the academic field or played the role of a teacher. However, he teaches us not through books or slideshows or journals, but through the things he produces. Widely known for his legendary musical works such as Mentera Semirah Padi, Tanya Sama Itu Hud Hud, Raikan Cinta, Apocalypse, Keroncong Untuk Ana, Andalusia, and Kias Fansuri, just to name some, his discography is filled with works that embody the spirit of the Nusantara region, yet transcending beyond these lands. Not limited to producing works for himself, he's also known as an accomplished composer and lyricist for other artists. He wrote songs such as Nur Nilam Sari and Isabella for the band Search, with Awi as a singer, a song that we often hear till this day at karaoke joints or even weddings. A classic, if you may. And how about Satu Hari di Hari Raya? A joyful song that we always hear during the festive season, which never fails to remind us of our hometown and families. Yes, this too was written by our honorable guest today. But his sonic involvement is only one facet of our guest's discipline. Being a multi-talented creative, he is also known for his acting career, with leading roles in films such as Putri Gunung Ledang and Phenomena. Our guest once again transcends beyond the norm as he is a living example that creativity can be manifested into many forms. But before he came to be known as a master of these two disciplines, there is one particular practice that he was involved in that seems to always evade discussion. Today, we will attempt to unravel his journey starting with that discipline and moving up towards his musical and acting journey, the trifecta of this legend. So without any further ado, I would like to give a very warm welcome to our honorable guest today, Dato M. Nasir. How are you doing, Dato?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, syukur. I'm doing okay, Dato. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Dato, for actually joining us at our humble event today. We are very excited to have you here, actually, because it is not often that us students have an opportunity to actually converse with a legend such as you face to face. And even though the circumstances might not be the most ideal, we are very grateful to even have the opportunity to have a conversation with you. So, all right, Dato, let's just get straight into it, lah. Um, so my first question is, when did you first realize that you have an inclination towards the arts, and did any conditions actually influence the need to travel outside of Singapore to explore this artistic sense?
Very young. When I was in primary school, I was already drawing. It was already until in my darjah tiga. I drew, and then I drew some naughty things, and I was beaten by the principal for doing that. Yeah, I knew I can draw, but it's drawing, not the entirety, the painting and all stuff. Ideas, I wasn't sure about that, but I knew I could draw. And when I was in the secondary school, it was more because there is a subject in art, right? So I excelled, and even got into a competition and won wood cutting competition for wood cutting. So I knew I can do art, but because at the time there was so many things we see and we hear, so many things happening around us in Singapore, and the country is in a starting of developing the country into a technological and economical success country. We don't know. I wasn't. My intention. My ambition was not into being an artist. an artist painter. But I was back then I was into sports. I wanted to be a footballer. And footballer come golfer, you know.
Okay.
Golfer because I was a caddy, you know, because when we were at school and then during the chuti time, I will go to the golf course and then caddy for golfers. So I thought I wanted to be a golfer also, but my heart was more into football. But I didn't. After that, I got into a technical school after secondary four. Singapore secondary four again.
Yeah.
Secondary four, and then I went into a technical school. But I just in the middle of that school, I thought I cannot. I was more into watching movies.
See.
I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of films. I watch, and when I was in that technical school, I took leave, watching the new film called Godfather.
Oh yes.
It was released. It was released in 72, 72 and 74, I'm thinking too. And yeah, 74, because I finished secondary school in 73, and then I ponteng sekolah lah, you know, I ponteng sekolah, and then I watch movie. Well, I don't encourage you all to do that, but I did it, you know. I was so into film, into movies, into watching movies. So, but onwards, I was stuck in the arts, you know, the visual arts, and then I got into the school, the Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, and finished that school, and I became an artist, a painter. Yeah, that is how I started.
I see.
As a painter.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not know. But because my friends were all musicians. Then the idea of being a singer came to me also while I was painting, because I thought I can do it, you know.
And
I like music.
And you did mention just now, Dato, that it was at the brink of this Singapore turning into a urbanized.
Yeah, when I developing.
So did that environment actually, like, did you I mean, reflecting back on it, do you think that environment kind of like shaped the way you think about your career pursuits or what you wanted to be, and even your art itself? Did it?
Just everything is happening in Singapore. Everything is happening, even in the arts actually. But it was not so focused. But there were few local artists that were my friends. Okay, when I was in the Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, I was invited to go to a place. It's an exhibition of batik paintings, and those paintings of Indonesian batik painters. Yeah, I was so amazed and excited because of the uniqueness of the work. So I just decided that I should be a serious painter, you know.
Okay. All right. Okay, Dato. Then let's focus there sikit to this side of you. You said that is kind of like before you wanted to become and get into the visual art journey. So as a fine art student myself, I find this side of you quite alluring. So how did your involvement in the visual art actually started, and what kind of like got you into like dive into it? Like, was it that show that you were saying that you saw the batik?
Yeah, the batik painting exhibition. My friend Sam Shahab, he was with me, and then he brought me to that place. It was a huge exhibition of Indonesian batik painters, exclusively batik painting.
I see.
Not painting, not oils or acrylics or other paintings, but batik paintings. But because I've seen a few batik paintings which produced by our local,
Yeah, local artists.
they were different. So maybe you don't know these artists were the biggest at the time. Bagong Kusudiaraja, Pak Amri Yahya. Have you ever heard of them? No, Sulerjo. The batik painters maybe you don't know because now it's not in already again. Batik that's not in. Okay, but at the time it was the beginning of the batik punya explosion.
I see. I see. Okay, and then okay, so we'll jump right into your experience in Nanyang School of Fine Art. Could you share with us what that experience were like and what were your interests actually back then? And if I'm not mistaken, you were studying Western painting. Yeah, that's very specific, Western painting. So could you?
Well, there were few courses over there. One of them is Western painting. The others like Chinese paintings and Chinese paintings. Western paintings and Chinese paintings.
Oh, okay, just two.
I think two. Yes, only two. And of course, we do sculptures and all like that. But they are in the Western painting course. So, well, if you knew Nanyang, maybe you won't know because you were not born yet at the time. It was like macam sekolah. It was like a colonial building. You know, this colonial building, very old. And in fact, Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts was, I think, it is the oldest painting academy of art academy in the Southeast Asia.
Yep.
Yeah, is it? Yeah. True. Okay. And I went there. I wasn't sure of because my friend, my early friend, he was a painter, and then I met him before I got into Nanyang. He encouraged me to go to Nanyang, and he said if you study arts and then you can become what do you call it, a commercial artist, you know, a commercial artist, and you can get you job, you know, painting in commercial line, you know. Because at the time people are all thinking of getting nak kerja apa, you know.
Yeah.
Lepas sekolah nak kerja apa. So masuk sekolah ni, okay, you can get this job and because you like art, and then it is good that you work apa yang you suka, you like, you know. So I got into the school, and I found out that it is a different. They're telling different stories. They're telling different things. You know, they're not teaching you to get jobs or anything. they are teaching you history and philosophy and the art itself, and then it started to get into me, and then I was different. I became sort of a different person after I got into that school.
I see. So
Yeah.
that education actually changed you, because people outside were talking about, oh, jobs, jobs, jobs. But when you got into the school, they were talking about art, art, art. It's just they're not really talking about, oh, how you're going to make a painting to sell, but how to make art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So okay, so during that time, Dato, could you share with us some
But but still, for 3 years you won't be studying much. You know, still they're basic.
I see.
Basic.
Yeah.
Basic.
The fundamental of the
Yeah, fundamentals. Yeah.
writers. Yeah. Okay, so during that time, who were your? I mean, like, because you got into art school, so who were you influenced by visually, or artists that you were influenced by, or any art movements or style that you like?
We learn about everybody, all the legends, all this. Before I got into the school, we only knew Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo. Not even Vincent Van Gogh pun kita tak tahu. We don't know. We don't know. I knew when I was young, I saw a painting of calendar paintings, calendar paintings of who's the master portrait artist? His name is Hussein Anas.
Oceanas, I see.
Hussein Anas, okay.
Yeah.
Hussein Anas. His painting, those paintings, I was sure that this is our best painter when I was young.
Yeah.
Dia painted apa nama for calendars, the calendars, portraits of our people, ethnic girls, ethnic women.
Yeah.
Melayu, Cina, apa ni, Kadazan, India, for the calendar.
Yeah.
I don't know how I think it's in the 70s, in the early 70s. And I thought this guy is our best that we have. So he sort of inspired me. But when I was already a singer, I realized that he is the father of Yuniza Hussein, the singer that was singing dengan lagu apa ni, Dua Insan tu.
I
The
see.
song Dua Insan. I was singing with the daughter. With
Oh,
his
you
daughter.
didn't realize.
Yeah.
I see.
You know about that? Yuniza Hussein is the daughter of Hussein Anas.
I did not know that, but I do know Hussein Anas, and he's in our curriculum.
Legend lah.
Yeah,
legend.
definitely.
Kita punya legend lah. Kita punya legend.
Yeah.
Okay. So partly because of him also, I wanted to paint a lot. And also one day when I was painting, and I painted my neighbor punya mak dia, I painted dia punya portrait, and it was, when we were young, we were concerned about when we draw the similarity of the face tu yang penting kan.
Yeah.
So I drew, and then it looked similar, and she said, "You'll be somebody satu hari nanti." So I didn't really think about it, but I can draw a similar, make it similar. Huh?
I see.
Sama muka sama.
I see.
I can draw that. I have the talent to draw people, and they look similar to the actual person. Yeah.
I see. So from a very young age itself,
Very
you
young
already
age.
had the
Very
skill.
young age. Really.
the skill and the
yeah. I do my friends apa kat sekolah, I do my friends apa semua. Okay, kan?
and did you make
So,
money out of it? Like did you sell them to your friends?
not yet, not yet. Not yet. Tapi masa I sekolah, I went to Nanyang Academy, I made some money. And when we were at school, there's apa ni, painting, oil punya session kan, and then dengan model apa semua. So everybody draw that model, and I drew that model. But that model ni obute ya, Mak Saleh lah kan. And she just liked my painting and bought the painting. So that's why pergi apa nama frame it lah. So pergi frame painting tu. Painting tu macam ala-ala impressionist punya style. Apa tu I pergi frame lah. So dia bayar I $50, you know. But the frame cost $100.
Ayo. Okay lah, first purchase. First one. Okay, Dato. Well, okay. So, moving on from that, like right now, can you explain to us, or what is your own style, Dato? What is your approach or your philosophy when you deal with painting?
When I got into Nanyang Academy, so I study arts, okay, and then it opened my thinking, you know, my thinking to many things and deeper things and bigger things. My vision lagi bigger. Excuse me. And I'm into everybody. I'm to everybody. Semua pun I suka. I like the realism punya scene, the romantic, the arts apa semua ni kan. Realism punya time, and then after masuk zaman modern punya paintings, I was into it also, and then there's no specific person yang I'm into. Macam my friend Amin, he was so into Van Gogh.
See.
And dia suka Van Gogh, and then dia suka group yang into surrealistic punya side tu kan. Siapa nama dia? Dali, and then a few others yang lebih naif tu, siapa nama dia, yang draw apple saja tu.
Magritte.
Really Magritte apa semua tu. Dia suka macam itu. And then into more graphical punya painting, you know, graphical and surrealistic painting gitu.
Yeah.
But not that I'm not into it, but I was also going along juga masa tu. But I love the zaman impressionist. I suka impressionist painting. I suka almost all of them. I suka. Kan. Tapi I'm not into that. Tapi and then I go and read more, and then you know, we got our not enough books yang ada dekat sekolah tu actually. And we go to this one place at the time. There is an embassy. It's an American embassy. So this American embassy ni, dia ada library. So we always pergi kat situ untuk baca art.
I see.
We go there to read about art. So I read, not that I'm into sangat, but I met this idea of Ed Reinhardt punya kepala lah kan. So sampai situ I dah rasa dah habis dah. Rasa dah habis dah. So, art for art pun dah tak ada lagi, dah tak art for art sake kan.
I see. Yeah. The transition in art history tu kan.
Betul tu dah habis dah. Art idea art ni dah tak ada. Siapa yang katakan somebody say he's got an idea, that means he's already out of date lah. Kan. So at one point I believe what he's saying. But after we have to go on. We have to go on again. It was in the 60s that writings apa semua tu.
Yeah.
So I move on, and I like the work of Kuning apa semua kan. And many other abstract, paintings, and then in the pop art scene.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know lah apa sekarang ni kan, macam-macam lah di sekarang ni. But I somehow, people when we go to Nanyang, kita belajar macam mana nak how to draw correctly, correctly. Ikut some school of thought punya correctly itulah. European punya style to draw things correctly, perspective, shape, dia punya form apa semua, lights apa semua, tu nak kena shade apa semua kena draw betul-betul exactly, bukan
technical
lah. Okay, so but then after that, bila I read more, and then I try to express, to cari, to look for a draw and I didn't not necessarily I win. I mean, tak berjaya pun, belum tahu I berjaya to find what I'm looking for. I mean, in art, I mean, the styles and the strokes and the story that I want to tell again. It's all about the story again.
Yeah.
Because we don't draw, paint something and there's nothing in there. So it's useless. It's got to be a story.
Yeah.
Even you say if there's no story, there's still the story.
Yeah.
So, and the story is found in my deep feeling and thinking. And I try to manifest in painting. Yeah.
I see. Okay, which leads me to my next question, because your work seems to manifest itself in these very abstract forms, and you did mention just Kuning. And I've read that many abstract artists such as Yusuf Ghani, late Dato Ibrahim Hussein, and even Western artists like Mark Rothko have likened this journey of abstraction as a very spiritual path, one that opens up your spirituality. Do you feel the same way about your practice in painting?
Yeah, I don't know how. I did not read them in a story. Apa semua, I don't know about their story.
Yeah.
But one of my biggest influence dalam in abstraction is Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock memula, because dia yang kita selalu, we always hear about him. He's popular.
Yeah, famous.
So there are others. but his impact on me was great, was quite strong lah. But I don't paint like him, tapi but he taught me something. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And okay, and let's go to your latest last exhibition, which was Thunder and Thunder 2. It was held in 2014 and 2015. So can you
Yeah.
tell us a bit about the ideas that you were exploring during this time?
Well, it is. I. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Trying to manifest my thinking on canvas, can and play with shapes and colors, especially the shapes and colors lah, and space and chaos and
Yeah.
compositions and all. But mostly because the word thunder, it means thunder implies you are giving a message. So that thing is still, it's out of date. Actually, people people are like giving message apa semua kan. But that's the form. That's the story behind it. The giving a story, trying to give a story of humanity. Yeah, story of humanity. Like tadi somebody mentioned about you mentioned about the cave painting apa semua tu kan.
Yeah, the cave
You
paintings.
guys the cave painting. Why? Kenapa orang paint kan? Kenapa
Yeah.
orang paint? Yeah. We're still trying to find out why people paint. Apa sebab and what's the meaning of it? People are trying to sebuah rakaman of thinking, or at waktu itu the point of new painting is just because mungkin dia suka painting cantikan. Painting kerana benda tu cantik, and then they feel excited because they can copy or on the wall apa yang dilihat, story yang dia ingat ataupun demi life yang dia boleh draw, and then they try to draw as as similar as possible.
Yeah.
And they manage for orang dulu. I mean, they manage to draw very well also at the time. And but I don't know why they buat tu.
Yes.
I don't know why. But there are a few paintings like in the La Cour, in France.
Let's go. Yeah, in France. Yeah.
Yang I think you tengok dia punya apa nama documentary pasal tu. Why they are the case, yeah.
They painted it, right? Yeah.
Painting tangan tu semua tu kan.
Yeah.
The technique was macam you put your hands there on the wall, and then you spray it, and then you got your hands kan, and then they compose the many hands.
Yeah.
And it was actually one of the earliest abstract painting, or so-called semi-abstract painting. What was the purpose? What was the intention for that hand? Kita tak tahu. But it's abstract. It's you can interpret it any way you like.
I see. Okay, so your works have that kind of like spirit as well, I guess. Like
yeah.
That kind of engagement that is very abstract, and I guess people have to experience it themselves to actually feel or have an understanding of what it is. Okay, Dato, but from my opinion, I feel like abstraction always has this like sense of rhythm, momentum, and improvisation, much like there is in music like
Yeah.
jazz. It's almost as if it's actually influenced by it. So is your own practice influenced at all by your music or the ideas of rhythm, flow?
I always believe my songs, you can see my song, not only hear it, but you can see
Yep, definitely.
the visual. Visual. So in a song, there is there's always rhythm. There's always space. There's everything that is in a painting. There is in a song, but it's a different medium. Yeah, and I treat it like that. Although they are pop songs, they are not like a serious classical, artistic kind of songs. They are only pop songs, but still, it is similar. You see a painting, there's a composition, and in the composition there's rhythm, there's uh, everything that's required in a painting. Then
Yeah,
what you want to express,
yeah.
you want to express awkwardness in a painting. Also, you can do it if you want people to feel awkward, when watch, or you want to shock people. You want to show people, you paint a black and red to shock people, or two contrasting color, or a stroke of something to stroke, to shock, to have the element of shock. You have it in music also. Yeah, how to do it, in in uh, apa ni, conscious. You have to be conscious of art.
I see. Yeah, I guess it does. And then the fact that your painting is abstract as well talks about. I mean, I guess it relates to the medium of music, which is abstract. You cannot touch it. You cannot hold it. Yeah, of course you can hear it, but you cannot. It's not tactile. But so yeah, it's very interesting to know that. And so now that we're talking about this like relation between your art and your music, and you see it as all just the same principles are being used, the same approach. So uh, how can you say? Can you tell me a little bit about the visuals that actually relate directly to your music, your album cover art? So I was actually very interested when I was doing some research. I found the album cover for Kembara, for your band, for your old band Kembara, which features this like a Greek Parthenon like structure, and then there's an eye and a butterfly. The symbols and these elements seem to appear again with Perjuangan and Generasiku and Seniman Jalanan, and also at the poster for the concert Kembara Hati Emas. Can you
Yeah, yeah.
explain to us, because what you said just now about surrealism, and I feel like there's a touch of that surrealistic treatment there. Can you explain to us what it is?
Yeah, but actually it's not that surrealistic. It's more of a symbolistic,
I see.
symbolistic. Yeah, and well, firstly the painting on the cover was done by Amin Shah.
I see.
Amin Shah, and he was into graphics actually. He was a graphic, like commercial artist, and then helping his father as a commercial artist also, as a draftman cover.
I see.
And he was he's into graphics. You will today many artists are into graphics punya painting, although dia punya graphic punya surrealistic, and many other ism is in it, but the whole thing was done graphic way, presented in the graphic style, kan? But graphic sudah ada lama dah, tahun berapa dah, tahun 50-an dah, 50 in the 50s I think, maybe earlier than that. So he was into graphic design. He was into pop art. Pop art. He was into surrealism, symbolism, and all. And when we buat Kembara, we are not. We minta dia buat apa nama? Design for the cover, and that was the design of the cover. And then, okay, the Greek pantheon. If people know about symbolism, maybe the meaning of the Greek pantheon, Greek apa ni, tiang tu,
Yeah.
is satu je makna dia kan, of power ke apa ke, and the eye is the all-seeing eye ke apa ke, and the flower, I think there was a flower, the rose.
Yeah, there's a rose.
Rose as love, as the meaning of the victory in love after struggle. After struggle, the rose means a victory. You know.
I see, and it's like a metamorphosis or like birth of something new.
And there's another one medal. There was a medal on the palm of the hand.
Ah, you see, I might have missed that. I'm sorry.
Those are symbols. You have to read symbols.
I see. Right, and that, so that, does that influence the music itself as a kind of like it's the theme?
It's a story of the whole album. The story of the whole album. In the late 60s or the early 70s, in the Western recording industry, there are this thing called concept album.
Yes.
Our meaning of concept album is, people will ask, album kau apa konsep ya? Album aku konsepnya pop lah, kan? Ataupun konsep R&B gitu cakap. Tapi in the early 70s, the meaning of concept album is different. It's album is a story. The whole 10 song, there's a story, and the story has a structure, as meaning, as macam it's a style. Dia ada form dia. The form. The form, you can recognize the form. That's a concept album. So usually people group like macam Pink Floyd, they buat concept album. This group like Genesis, or they buat concept album.
Yes, a lot of progressive rock bands, that time.
Progressive rock band. Usually they buat concept album. But others, they don't buat concept album. So we Kembara, we thought we also want to do concept album. So that was the first concept album lah. Kita buat kat Malaysia.
I see. Wow, okay.
But it's a pop, but still it's a pop new music.
But the treatment, the kind of like, you took the essence of it and kind of made it your own lah, kan, Dato?
Yeah.
Okay, how about okay, this is my personal favorite. How about Phoenix Bangkit, Dato? The album cover art for it, I think is so beautiful. Can you explain a bit about it and who actually made it? Or
so Phoenix Bangkit was my one of my latest, because my last, not my last, before my last. My last was what was that? My last album. Banyak sangat album I buat. A lot of album.
Big discography.
A lot of album. Phoenix Bangkit. Okay, there was like pinnacle, or what do you call it? The puncak ataupun the climax of the form of creativity that I practiced at the time. I started with the Kembara, and then with my solo album. Kan? So the the climax was the
Phoenix Bang.
Phoenix Bangkit.
It's your epitome lah. Your
Yeah. So after that, I changed into a different. I go. Oh, people said I was astray. Yeah, astray. We went to other places, you know, try to look for other things to something new. Tapi that Phoenix Bangkit was the climax. After I did the first Kembara dengan the group Kembara,
yeah.
and then in the early 90s I started buat solo album. I bought solo album, and I did only 4 albums solo.
Yeah.
And but those the music yang I sort of created, and it was influenced by the sounds of this regional sound. Regional sound in this place called Nusantara. Maksudnya daripada Aceh hinggalah ke mana? Irian Jaya sana. From Aceh to Irian Jaya, the sound of that.
I see. Yeah.
So, but with elements, with the combination, a fusion of Western music. Western music means African music, African
beats or rhythm.
Yeah, African music and Arabian music, Middle Eastern music.
Mm-hmm.
Combination fused with our ethnic music. So that's the music part. Yeah, the form, the music form. But the thinking of the time was it's a combination of spiritual punya realization.
See.
More spiritual realization than a political punya, because it's mixed with political, racial
connotations.
Thinking maksud tu kan. So, but that Phoenix Bangkit was more of a form that I'm trying to suggest atau to offer people that this form is ours.
I see. Yeah, kind of like forming and like an identity. You went through this like spiritual journey of like finding what is it represents us as a Nusantara, I guess, Nusantara culture.
The form, the thinking, the feeling, this is ours, our
own. Yeah.
Our own. Like macam kita cari painting, the identity of painting kan. Nak cari identity dalam painting, in painting. It is difficult for us. Kalau if you are a Westerner, you paint as you wish. But in the East, especially in Malaysia, you try to paint however you go to. People will say this is Western, this is Indian, this is Chinese, and if you want to claim something that is yours, it is quite difficult.
Yes.
Right. So sekarang we are trying to find our form sebenarnya.
Yeah, and it's also a way to kind of like response, because we have all this like Western influence and other all is influence constantly like we consume it and then it kind of shapes us, and then we're trying to negotiate with everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget our own history, our own culture. So that was, I guess, your effort, in your own effort, to kind of like stamp it like this is us. So I see. Okay. Okay, Dato. Actually, I have one more thing that I wanted to ask you about visually. This was actually a friend of mine. When I was researching, a friend of mine actually pointed out that I should watch your Akka concert. It was very rewarding actually for me. As I believe that most will agree that it was your best concert. And as I watched that concert, I realized that you had this huge props on stage. They seem like roots of a tree, and then everybody was in red. Could you share with us the ideation of the visual ideation of that, and how important it is for you, this visual aspect in your live show?
Yeah. I thought of to make it a bit dramatic lah. Concert is concert, with songs and singing and everything, right? And with music, but we should a concert is to be seen and heard, kan? So the singing, the visual part is I work that out with friends lah, not really I saja, not only me. So we thought we emphasize on the okay, there's a song that we created. It's called Akar Kita, kan? Akar Kita means our roots.
Yeah.
And it is in conjunction with the time that we were busy talking about our roots, and in music, in thinking, in forms and everything. So I thought it was good. It was okay that I put a big root there, but designed by this my friend. He was an artist. His name is Fuan. Very good artist. Yeah, and he did many of my covers, and so he designed that to get that dramatic effect. So the meaning of the roots, of course, it's so easy to understand the roots of our culture, of our self, of that kind of thing.
I see. Okay, Dato.
Yeah.
All right, Dato. Okay, just to close.
Suddenly reminded me of something.
Just to close this part of the visual side of you, and then we move on to like some other facets of your practice. Just to close it, are you still active in this arena, mainly fine arts, painting, and are there any future plans that you can share with us in regards to your visual art practice?
Yeah, like this painting behind me is my new so-called series of a series that I'm working on. It's called it's I haven't had the name yet, but a series of the whirling dervish,
Yeah, in Turkish.
Yeah, whirling dervish. It's just that I used that whirling dervish as a symbol of the search for self-realization, I can say.
I see. So this is the new series that you're working on, and do you have plans to exhibit them?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I've been working. I've worked a few already. Yeah, but this is one of them.
I see. It's going to be like a solo show lah, Dato. Like a
Solo, yeah.
all right. Okay, please do keep us updated on it. I believe a lot of the viewers here would like to be able to actually go and see your works live. Yeah. So okay, Dato. Okay, now I want to transition a bit into your musical journey. If that's okay with you. And
Really.
even though it's a little bit late, I just really want to say congratulations to you for recently. Well, it's 2 years ago, but celebrating 40 years of your career in music with the Satu Hikayat concert that was held in 2019. I was actually
You saw that one?
sorry.
You saw that one? You
Yes,
saw
I
it?
was there. I was there actually. I was
Yeah.
there. I was like, bila Datuk kata joget ah, joget. So
Joget is part of the joget is part of the reason. It's part of the plan actually to for that identity thing because joget is uh, but actually it was not ours. Joget is not ours also. It was uh, it was Spanish.
I
Spanish punya music, African, African, from the Middle Eastern.
yeah, but I mean, it was amazing to see all this. Not tak nak cakap orang tua, but macam people in their 60s, their 70s, they got up and diorang joget juga. You know,
Yeah,
it's amazing lah to see that you are able to bring,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
to
When I was starting my performing performing professionally. My before that I was like I was in a band and then uh, making albums, but as a performer, I wasn't there yet, you know. So I started with this concert called Gong, Gong Impian. It's called Gong, and uh, I started this concept of those joget and everything. And after that, it climaxed at the concert called Concert Mantra. I don't know whether you were still young at the time. Uh, uh, I don't know whether you went to my concert called Mantra.
1981. I was
It
born
was
at 1981.
94.
Oh,
It
tak
was
sempat
in
lagi.
94.
Yes, old.
So very young, huh? Very young. So actually, most concerts where when you see people dancing or jumping around is uh, from rock concert,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But this one is not. This one is from a local rhythm concert,
Yeah.
from a local rhythm. The people dance, people not shy to dance their own form of dancing.
Yeah, which is joget lah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dato. Okay, before all of that happened, I've read that you actually very much influenced by, and you mentioned it just now, by all these progressive rock bands, you know, Pink Floyd, Genesis, Led Zeppelin, uh,
Yeah.
Yes, probably Rush, uh,
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, Queen. So, um, how, like, can you tell us a little bit story about that? How you were influenced by them? How did you get to listen to them at first? Um,
It's easy. As I said, in Singapore, everything is happening in Singapore. In the 60s, the 60s explosion. Okay, you can't escape from that. The 60s explosion. You hear all the 60s recordings. But and then they are on radio,
oh,
Malay radio or English one. So they okay, but I don't buy my only access to music was at the time from radio, okay, and TV was later because TV tahun berapa and but in the early 60s was radio. So radio taught me a lot of music. And Radio Singapore, all kinds of music in there. But in the early 70s, my brother got bigger and he started working and then he got money and then he bought records. So records this, but the thing is, my brother, it's not like uh, uh, ordinary fans. He's into serious records.
I see.
He bought serious. I don't know how he got this taste, but he bought all the legendary records. Record yang Grammy Awards punya, records yang legendary artists, you know, especially in the rock scene, and not so heavy rock music scene, tapi wide spectrum lah dia punya. That's why dia ada macam Pink Floyd, and then dia ada Queen, dia ada apa semua. Dia bukan macam heavy metal yang kalau orang people into one kind of music, heavy music, heavy music. No. We semua, all kinds of music, but the good ones, not very popish punya music tak ada. Macam Pink Floyd ke apa, even Bob Dylan. Siapa yang beli Bob Dylan ke? Orang Melayu, Malay people, they don't listen to Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
They don't. But my brother bought Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
So because my brother bought them these records, so I managed to listen to them, and I was influenced by what my brother listened to. You see? And so, and it's a good thing for me. If he's got a different taste, maybe I was like penyanyi apa tak tahu lah, kan? So I owe that thing to my brother. And he bought the first guitar, he bought the first piano, and I studied a little bit from him, you know. After that, I was on my own.
All right.
But
Okay.
I listen to my own music lah.
I see. Then you kind of like curated or started building your own kind of like preference to music, but initially it was shaped by your.
Excuse me.
All right, everybody who are still online and watching us, please do leave a question on Facebook and Instagram. And a few questions already come in, but please keep them coming. All right, Dato. Okay, now coming back to this idea of listening. You said you listen to a lot of records. And you did mention in a previous interview that you're not a player, but you listen to a lot of music and you know your music. When I heard this, it reminded me of this book that I have read before called Music of Life by Hazrat Inayat Khan, which he explained that mysticism and healing power of vibration, sound, and music. And one emphasis that he put forward was the discipline or the adab of listening before making or playing music. Do you share the same kind of view towards listening? Is it important to listen when you listen to music? I mean, it's not just like a passive thing, but an active listening to music.
This is not for the faint-hearted. Active listening or serious listening is not for the ordinary people. They won't listen like that. They don't have the heart. So people with deep wanting to feel the beyond of music, you know, beyond music, then these are elite listeners. So they listen to what? They listen to the same people listen to the same music, but the elite listen differently. So how they listen is a matter of you to you cannot go into their listening.
Yeah. It's a personal experience, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Maybe what is it? Inayah Khan.
Hazrat Inayat Khan. Yeah.
Hazrat Inayah. It's a Sufi master kan.
Yes.
Yeah. So he listens differently.
Yeah.
So there's a form of music in India or Pakistan. It's called the Qawwali.
Yes.
The Qawwali. It's a form of it's called it's in India. There's music. You know the ghazal music.
Yeah.
Ghazal or Ghazali. Ghazal is from India. Ghazal that we got it's from India.
Yeah.
Kan? Okay. And there are other forms. Like Ghazal, it's Ghazal because it is music of love songs.
Yeah.
Of love songs.
Mhm.
Okay. And there's another one called Hayal.
Okay.
Hayal. So it's a Hayal song.
I see.
Can be anything.
See.
Fantasy.
I see.
Hayal. But there is another one called Qawwali.
Yeah.
So this devotional song.
Yeah.
Devotional song.
Praises to God.
Devotional. It's not about the lyrics. It's about the sound of the music. It's about the sound, the rhythm. People got into it not because of the lyrics they're singing even, but because of the sound, the rhythm.
Mhm.
They got into it. They are together with the music, and then they are different. So it's called Qawwali.
I see.
That's in India. So we don't know whether we have music yang macam itu kat sini. Malay form ke apa tak tahulah. Yeah.
It's almost like the practice, like similar to like the swirling the wishes, where it's
It's the same. It's the same.
the sea kind
It's
of.
the same. It's a different. That's Turkish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Qawwali is Indian.
I see. All right. Okay, Dato. So it's a very spiritual notion, yeah, or surrounding that topic. So okay, Dato. Now we're gonna move on a bit to because before this you mentioned Kembara punya album, all the cover, right? So with this current digital age of music, where this physicality of an album slowly starting to diminish, and then online streaming is getting more famous. Do you see this as a very natural progression, or you still hope or believe that physical products can still hold value in the industry? And will there be a problem, for example, like archiving all these works? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because we in the midst of it. We're in the middle of it. So we don't know how to get to solve this problem until we think, okay, now for the business of music, if there's no physical album, they don't care. As long as there's an alternative, okay, the digital is making good sekarang ni nowadays. So what is there to for them? There's nothing for them to be to get angry ke apa ke kan. But for people already experienced that. People like me, people that young went through the phase. There were album, apa ni,
Vine.
vinyl, and then to cassettes, and then to CDs. You know, mungkin dia orang these people feel this thing, and but still they don't know how to get out of it.
Mhm.
You know, unless you know, the funny thing is this digital thing is uh, always in any literature pun there is also negative, there a lot of negativity in it, in any literature talking about this digital world. A lot of negative
Yeah, connotations.
thinking about apa ni, digital punya world, but still nobody's getting out of it.
Yeah, it's happening
Yeah,
nonetheless.
it's happening, and people are embracing it.
Yeah.
So we just go with the flow. Yeah,
Yeah, and I believe
yeah.
it's like you're right, because to be able to understand what all of this and what's happening, you kind of have to like be out of it and reflect on it. Like, oh, okay, but yeah, yes, you're right. We're in it, so we have to just go through it.
Go
All right.
with the flow.
Yeah, betul. Yeah, and rather than fight it, I mean, rather accept it and try to find ways to make it better at least, right?
Mm.
Okay, Dato. Okay, we've reached the final segment of our talk. We'll be discussing a bit about your film involvement in the film industry. The first, if I'm not mistaken, the first film you were involved with was Kembara Seniman Jalanan. Am I correct? 1986,
Yeah.
where you actually took that was your first film, and you actually took the role of an actor, writer, and composer. So you share with us your experience of being involved with this film and everything that came with it.
I always wanted to be in movies. I always wanted to be uh, not necessarily an actor or somebody in the film, but
Involved in it, yeah.
to be involved in it. Yeah. So I was into watching movies, watching films, a lot of films, a lot of films. In fact, when I was, you know, I lived in the city at one point. At first, I was living in a suburban area, and then I lived in the middle of city. You know, Orchard Road.
Oh yes, Orchard Road, yes.
Orchard, okay, in Orchard Road. I lived in that Orchard Road.
Oh,
So,
middle of it.
middle of it, yeah. And there's a lot of panggung, and there's a lot of cinemas there. And if I made it possible for me to watch movies every day. Every day. Yeah. When there's a good movie, I must watch it. Yeah. And in fact, there are also not good movies that I watch. Yeah.
So you were
Okay.
selective.
Like I said, I ponting sekolah because of watching film Godfather.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that because of movies.
Wow.
Okay. So when I went into this entertainment world. I met Nasujani. And I told him that I have a script. I showed him my story, my storyline. So he's already an assistant director at the time, working in commercials and some films. So when I met him, we had this chemistry, and then he started bringing the script to a producer, which was Zarul Abakri. He's the producer of that movie. Bar Sinema Jalanan. So it took a while also to prepare to film that movie because of at that very time he was sponsored by the government to go to London to start to attend a course, I think a summer course or something on film. But he came back. He came back and we started to film that film and to shoot that film and yeah, we did it. But took a long time and a lot of problems. You know, pre-making that film.
See, because it was all like still new. The involvement was new.
Yeah.
Was it like a very new involvement? Was it because it was your first your first involvement with
Yeah, my first. Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But because in film, I was involved in film first through making songs in film.
Yes.
Making songs in film. So I wrote the first songs in the film Azura.
I see.
Yeah, that film Azura. You know the song Sandarkan Pada Kenangan, that song. Jamal Abdullah dengan Oji Ahmad Daud. But now he recorded with Sarah Asudin.
Oh, Sarah Asudin, yes.
Yeah. So that was one of my first songs in film. So I started with writing songs for film. And then at the same time I was working with trying to produce that Kembara.
I see.
Yeah.
So by working behind the scenes, so you kind of like understood the structure and how to
Yeah, yeah.
About
yeah.
making a film, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then that was a lot of behind the scenes. But one of your most famous or important role was when you played the role of Hang Tuah in one of the most big budget films in the history of Malaysian cinema. So as a viewer, I felt like you were just the perfect cast for that role. But did it come natural to you? And what were the preparations that you had to make to portray this elusive, legendary figure? Because we've all heard of him, never seen him. So
the preparation was not that heavy. I just thought, what would Hang Tuah do? what would he do? You know?
Did you have to read a lot?
That thinking. Actually, there's not much text about Hang Tuah here and there, you know.
Yeah.
But not about his character, how he moved, how he bersilat ke, how he his mannerism ke, how
he carries
not much.
Of how he's
not much. So through sort of perception. Perception.
I see.
Yeah.
So you had to kind of like look at probably like other people or other recorded history of other people, because for example, like I was so curious because the way, like you said, mannerisms, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, all of that matters, right, in convincing the viewer and kind of like making them get immersed themselves into this world which is, has passed. So there must be like a point of reference.
Yeah. You know, if we were to study them and their character, even their speech different. They don't speak like us. they don't walk like us because they don't wear any slipper, kasut pun,
Yeah.
they don't wear baju macam kita. They don't. It's a different world,
Yeah.
and we can imagine how it will. It's apa nama? It's gonna be. You can imagine. And he is macam kalau kita study some of his characters in some text, he's as if he's like macam he's a perfect figure, he's a perfect person, handsome, good looking, but actually, to be what it takes to be a fighter, you would what it takes to be a warrior, you will have the kind of mannerism, kind of speech, kind of thinking, that maybe it's not even suitable for film.
I see. So there's a lot
not attractive, not attractive.
Yeah.
Maybe even not attractive to film.
Yeah,
Kind of. So what we're doing is art. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. Okay, Dato. All right. So okay, just to end this whole 3 sections, I just wanted to ask you, like, do you feel like there's a synthesis between all your practice, your visual art, your music, and your film? Is it a manifestation of the same thing?
Yeah. Manifestation of the same thing. It's the same. It's all within something inside. We try to manifest in many media that we able to do.
I see.
However you try to do it differently, it is actually from the same source.
I see. Yeah, and you cannot lie, and you cannot change it because it's from you. So the core is you, right? Okay, Dato. So, okay, I just want to say thank you so much, Dato, for everything that you have shared with us. And actually, there's a lot more questions, but I'm very thankful that we managed to get an insight to how you operate creatively and the experience and knowledge that you have shared with us. But now I would like to be fair and take us into the Q&A section of the seminar, because if it were up to me, I just ask you all the questions. But okay, I like to open up the
You
floor.
punya, sorry, ini out of this thing. You punya mak ID
Yes, my mom is.
Yeah, we originate from the same kampung tau.
Yes, from Singapore, Dato. That's why when you say Orchard.
No, not Singapore.
Oh, Johor.
Pagoh. From
Yes.
Pagoh.
More.
From Pagoh. Because my father was a Pagoh person.
Yes, my late Atuk actually mentioned before this that
ada kampung kat depan tu.
Yes.
Kampung Raja sebelah tempat makam tu kan.
Yes.
Depan makam.
Okay, Dato. Okay, so coming back to our seminar, I just want to open up the floor to anybody who is actually keen to ask Dato any questions. Just a reminder, you can actually leave your answers on the comment section of both Instagram Live and Facebook Live. And for now, actually, we've already had a few questions come in. So let me just read them to Dato. Okay, let's see. Hold on, yeah. Okay, so this one comes from Azam Jalil. Okay, hi. I would like to know from Dato M. Nasir, what is his source of knowledge in terms of books that fed him with tremendous philosophy of music and a sense of history in your creative process? Are there any, maybe name us 1 or 2 titles of books that really like left a mark in you, Dato?
Not books. When we were young, in terms of music, when I was young, in our village, you know, we got influenced by many music yang there were yang ada pada waktu itu. And most of the children of the village or of my age, they were into one kind of music, which is called the blues.
Oh, yes.
Blues, the blues. I don't know why, but these villagers, my friends in the village, they listen to a lot of blues, and when they grew up, they form blues band. A few of them are into blues band. They play guitar, and then they are just into blues. While in other areas, people are listening to rock. The youth, they're listening to rock and pop music. But these friends of mine, the group of the village, they listen to blues, and their friends, they are friends also who work as sailors, sailors lah. And then they go out. They came back. They brought many blues albums, and we all listened to those albums, and we played from the album, and we practiced blues songs. And every time when there's chance to play live, macam ada orang kahwin ke apa kan, marriage apa, party, wedding party, they played music, and we love listen to the kind of music they played. And I don't know why, they just love the blues. So blues inside our body. Dah ada.
Yeah.
It's inside already. So that in terms of music, influence kan, situ. The thinking of blues, but while others are singing a lot of playing a lot of blues, I listen to other kind of music, especially American folk songs.
Folk music, yeah.
Folk songs, folk music, and Malay folk music. I listen, and then it gets inside you. They listen and then take for granted this is listening to Malay music from the radio, they don't listen and get it inside the psyche. No, but I did. This Malay songs I listen from the radio, out of the radio though.
Yeah.
They get inside my psyche. The way they sing, the way they express the lyrics, the way they the styles that they're singing, they got inside me. They got inside me, especially the thinking. The folk songs of America, the lyrics got inside in me. The rock songs of America, the weird recordings from many American and British albums, British songs. The lyrics got inside of me. The thinking in the lyrics also. So that's why I tried to write lyrics like they wrote, how they wrote, So that is my real education actually in music.
I see. So music, the lyricism, poetry of
poetry, poetry. Yeah, after listening to Dylan, I listened to even Elton John. At the time, Bernie Taupin, he was a great lyricist, and many others. Even Cat Stevens, he was also a good lyricist. And a group called Crosby, Stills and Nash, they were producing very good music at the time, and the lyrics, uh, you know, so
Yeah.
this lyrics. And then after that, I beginning to listen to Indonesian songs, and I chose the songs, I chose the album. So I found this one album which nobody, no other people in my area listened to. This singer called Abid Jad at that time in the late 70s. So it was different when he came out. He came out with songs, very folky, kind of Western folky songs, American folk songs, but in Indonesia, with the lyrics, with poetic lyrics that were different, written from previous songwriters, you know. So they influenced me a lot.
I see.
Mm.
Okay, so it was not books, but it's movies and it's mostly music and
Uh,
poetry.
uh, mm.
Right. Thank you, Dato, for answering that question.
After that, books lah, books I after that.
Later on, it came around. Yeah. Okay, but okay. Now, second question comes from Nurul Razia Osman. So she asks, what do you think of digital art painting? Does it lack the sense of texture and realism, or how you can experience a real painting that's in front of you? And this question, I guess, is quite important, especially the way we're dealing with the pandemic right now, where we can't actually go
Mm.
out.
Mm.
So, what do you think, Dato, of digital?
It's a matter of medium. It's only a medium. You know, basically, uh, if you're into realism, that digital thing is a medium. But if you're a painter, a drawer, a person, an artist who deals with realistic paintings, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you must be good at it first. You must be good at the drawing first.
Yep.
You know, but those are digital things. They are just medium,
Yep. I understand.
and master it, and your work will be as good as other mediums.
So it's, as long as you are master of the skill, you can use
Master
any,
of it, yeah.
you
You
can use
got to master skill.
I see. Okay,
Mm.
Dato. Okay, thank you so much. And then okay, we'll move to this there's a question, Jaya. I'm searching just now. I just saw the question just now. Okay, we'll go to uh Awatif asked this. This is a question from Awatif. She asked us, could you share with us your most favorite project that you've worked on so far?
My
Or
favorite project.
yeah. Is it an album, or was it a painting, or was it a film?
Okay. My first favorite project was doing my first album, Kembali album, when I don't know so much things. I don't know many things, but I do it because of the love. I just do it, you know. I do it and took anything from anywhere that I got, you know, and tried to finish it the way I wanted it. You know, that was my first favorite project of making album lah.
Yeah.
Of making album. And the the last one was uh, Phoenix Bucket. Yeah, that was my favorite project also. It is true. It is true that concert uh, concert Aka was also my favorite project because that was I was on fire at the time, right? Like I found it. I must show it to people, you know. I found it and I want to show it to people. But though I found it that I know only a few things, not enough, you know. But I thought it was more exciting that way. Yeah. But later on, when I studied more and then learned more, and I think my another favorite project for an album was yeah, the mantras, the Canggung Mendona.
See.
Canggung Mendona.
Yeah, that album started off with was it Mantra Semerapadi?
Mantras Semerapadi, yeah.
It was a big opening into that whole album.
Yeah.
Okay, Dato. And then now we'll move on to the next question. This comes from Rafiq Zakwan. Okay, this is quite literal. He's asking the painting at the back. Is it based on the song Bila Rumi Menari? Or the song is painting ke apa ke? Can you share with us the painting on the back?
Okay, the painting is it's like post what they call post impressionist punya painting lah. It's not an abstract painting. It's still painting with a figure yang you can recognize kan. And then there's only very few colors kat situ, white and orange yang stand out gitu. The subject is the dancer, the whirling dervish. The whirling dervish. It's not based on Bila Rumi Menari, tapi it can be entitled Bila Rumi Menari.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Bila Rumi Menari, okay, Rumi. I tell you a story about Rumi when he started the movement, the tarikat dia itulah. Dia buat puisi, bukan menulis. Dia tak menulis. Dia ada orang yang tuliskan dia. Orang yang ikut dia tu, yang selalu ikut dia, akan mendengar dia ucapkan puisi dia. Dan bila dia terasa, bila dia datang zuk dia ke apa, dia datang macam ilham dia ke apa kan. Dia tengah jalan, tapi ini cerita betul ke tidak tak tahulah kan. Tapi cerita dia banyak lah. And when he was walking, he hears people from a distance banging on, hitting on gold to create things, goldsmith, hitting on gold, and it creates rhythm. Tung, 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 tung. So that rhythm incited him to dance, to move. When he was walking, and he will move like he was dancing. I don't know the way of his dancing is the same as the whirling dervish or not, but it started that way. So that sound from the gold hit tadi creates a rhythm and it incited the dance, incited Rumi to move the way of the whirling dervish. So that was a story of Bila Rumi Menari itu. But why? It gives him the inspiration, or it incited him to feel and to come out with the lyrics because of that sound, the rhythm of the gold hit too. Yeah? The rhythm creates that sound, and then it creates the lyrics come out of his mouth.
See.
Okay, and then he moves along with it, with the rhythm, and he's always have this macam like pantun, but it's more syair than pantun. It's not pantun. Dia
Yep.
bukan pantun, ada dua rangkap yang tidak ada, bukan tak ada makna dia kan. Tapi dia semua ada makna macam he will start with something, one line with that will close with the fourth line that will close, or sometimes it's not four, sometimes it is a whole phrase. I don't know, 8 or 12, aku tak tahu lah. Lines dia tahu.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Rumi will dance and recite his poem. He did not write, because the person yang listened to it, that was walking along with him, will write his poem.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if he got into this like state of ecstasy.
Ecstasy, yeah. In a trance, in a kind of trance.
Yeah, trance, yeah. And then so people would write it down. And then that actually reminds me of how I guess Al-Quran was collected, where it's a verbal and then it was written down and collected, yeah. The ayat. So I see. Oh, I never knew that. Thank you so much, Dato, for actually giving us. So is that the inspiration then behind the painting?
Yeah, we always kind of trance. I'm always in a trance.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trance dalam kesedaran, dalam realizing. In trance, but we are also realizing ourselves. You know, you cannot in trance and forget everything.
Betul.
Our forget goes to realization.
See.
You know.
Dia macam, okay, this might be itulah, but I relate it to watching. I remember watching the Avengers, the Hulk, when he changed into the Hulk, and then the guy was his friend was so terkejut, he was very surprised, and then he said, "Oh, actually, I'm always angry." So all this time he was always able to control, you know. So I was being in a trance, but it's about being in control of that trance, right? Okay, so
that poetry is to be recited over and over again, so that you have this sense of remembrance, you know.
Yeah.
Zikir.
Yeah.
So then zikir tu remembrance, the remembrance to it becomes like, if it cannot be like one word and then in between there's nothing. In the end, everything becomes one. So he's always in a state of remembrance.
I see. So it's like a constant.
Yeah, constant remembrance.
I see.
Remembering.
I see. All right. Okay. I think we have room for like one more question, and this comes from Irfan. Dato, for you, Irfan Mustafa, sorry. Dato, for you, musicians should be purists or should they experiment with fusion? For example, traditional fusion with modern. Do you think musicians are responsible to bring Malaysian identity in the industry?
There's many schools dalam this thinking, you know. There's many schools. There are many schools. But I thought maybe only two schools. One with thinking pure, and the other is question whether we got to be pure. But there's another question. What is pure? What is pure?
What is pure in the first place?
What is pure? So I don't have answer for that. No, do what you feel is right.
I think that's a very beautiful answer, actually, because Yeah, it sums it up. Like, everyone is experiencing a different thing in different time and space. So we should all just be honest and do what we feel is right, I guess. Okay, Dato. With that answer, actually, we've actually concluded our whole seminar for today. And thank you to all the viewers who sent in the questions, and thank you, Dato, for taking the time to answer them. And okay, all right. Before we end the seminar, I would actually like to invite our lecturer, Dr. Razif, if we could give a bit of a closing speech. May I take the floor, Dr. Razif?
Baik, thank you Adli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera. Syukur Alhamdulillah. We are very happy and thankful to Allah SWT for our success in organizing this event. Firstly, I and Dr. Hazlin would like to thank all the participants for joining us in this seminar. We appreciate your participation and hope that you enjoy the session as much as we do. On behalf of the faculty and the students, we would like to take this opportunity to thank Dato Nasir. We are very grateful for your willingness to share your knowledge, experience, thoughts, and idea to the students today. I personally think it was a very enlightening, insightful, and also entertaining session. Thanks, Dato, for a truly memorable evening. We hope that you can join us again in future, inshallah. We would like to extend our gratitude to the faculty, top management, assessors for their support, and everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. Throughout this semester, the DSISC4 managed to organize about 9. We would like to invite the speakers who have contributed their knowledge and experience to the students. Okay. Besides Dato Nasir, among those involved, Dato Haji Rizaman Ibrahim, Professor Dr. Mohd Mahmud, Mr. Farid Yusuf, Mr. Hafendi Anwar, Mr. Kashfi Zulkifli, Ms. Tim Fatimah, Ms. Adi Idwani, Mr. Zamir Akil, Mr. Lokman Ashari, and Mrs. Zoe Wu. If you miss any of those sessions, you can watch it in our Facebook page. Okay. I hope that this seminar will continue to sustain its position as a platform for postgraduate students to share their research output and also organize a sharing session like this. So finally, my heartiest congratulations and appreciation to the team captain, Mr. Adli, and the whole forward team committees. You guys have worked hard to ensure the success of the seminar. More importantly, we hope that this experience will benefit you in many ways, inshallah. Even though we had the opportunity, even though we never had the opportunity to meet physically, but amazingly, we are able to work together to organize this event successfully. So I will end with, I will Control A and Control S this experience in my memory. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Razif, for that wonderful speech. It is only under your guidance and Dr. Lin's guidance that we were able to conduct the seminar series throughout the whole semester. All right, now we would like to take this opportunity to invite Dato Nasir to give a closing speech or advice for all our viewers at home. Is it possible, Dato, to give a little bit of closing advice?
I thank you, everybody, for wanting to share this moment with me. Although you invited me, and I agree to do this. It's not something that I do often, and I'm happy that I can share something. I don't know if I have given anything, any education atau something profound ke something big to you, but I wish I'm happy that you want to listen to me, and this is the longest English language session that I've had in my life. Not that I don't speak English, but it's been a very long time that I speak English. But anyway, thanks everybody and I hope everybody is happy. And as an entertainer, I wish you are entertained. Uh, I wish you are entertained, and see you anytime. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato. Actually, Alhamdulillah, Dato. Actually, thank you so much, Dato. You've actually taught us a lot, yeah, today, and I'm pretty sure the viewers feel the same as well. Um, okay, Dato. Actually, we wanted to tell you that we've actually prepared a token of appreciation for you. But since we are going through this MCO period right now, we will only be able to pass it to you, inshallah, after the MCO period ends. And inshallah, we will pass it to you ourselves if we have the opportunity. All right. Now, before we end the seminar, we have one last surprise to share with everyone. As you know, our whole batch of students actually organized this event throughout the whole semester. And as the captain of this team, I just want to express and like to say that I'm so proud of everyone's hard work. With that note, the video team has actually prepared a montage of all the talks that we've had throughout the semester. So, without further ado, let's take a look back at our journey thus far. Take it away, Rafiq. All right. Now, before we end the seminar, we have one last surprise to share with everyone. As you know, our whole batch of would like to bid everyone good for joining us on this monumental day. I would like to say thank you to UITM, our sponsors, and most importantly, our special guest today, Dato Nasir, for joining us. And now, since we are still in MCO, please remember, stay home, stay safe, and practice good personal hygiene. Assalamualaikum, au revoir, and have a good day, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Right.
Okay.
With that video, I would like to bid everyone goodbye.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.